I know Bo did say that Roxy wanted to help. I think Roxy helped at the beginning, but I think at a point she didn't want to help anymore, so she was not getting into trouble.
She's like, no,
yes,
which is normal,
which
right?
is normal. Yes,
like
okay,
I've
reached my limit. Yeah, but because she had the right person like the evangelist, she pushed her.
One big lesson I learned from that part was the fact that sometimes people do bad stuff because they don't know better, not because they are inherently bad in themselves.
Yeah.
All they just need is for somebody else to come, into their lives and tell them that there's something better to live for. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Nolly Reviews by BD. I'm Bo.
And I'm D.
Alright, so today we're going to be reviewing another interesting movie for you all titled Roxy, and it's on BDTV TV on YouTube. Very amazing movie, featured amazing cast, and I'm going to just ask that you review the movie.
Sure. So this is another movie that, of course, whenever you see it, just know that we love the movie. Roxy, I would say it's a suspense drama because there was a lot of course, suspense in the movie. And I love the storyline because it's not a common storyline. It was very, very, very different. So Roxy pretty much is the story of a lady called Roxy or Rebecca, and she saved someone pretty much from dying. I would say his name Bonnie and Mike. Yeah, so it's the same person but different name because of based on the situation. So she saved him from dying, and pretty much he had to kind of rediscover his life because he lost his memory. I'm someone that don't like giving away
the scoop.
Yes, of any movie. So I don't like spoilers at all, so I prevent spoilers. But I guess when we dive more into the review, you will get a little more understanding of of the movie.
So I think, just like she said, the movie is different. Like when she was like, he lost his memory, people are like, that movie already sounds familiar, like someone losing their memory. But no, the way it was portrayed was definitely different, and this is why. The Roxy character was not your regular character. She was a runs girl, or in English, she was a prostitute. Very, outspoken one. Everybody in the neighborhood knew that she was a prostitute. So she was living this prostitute life. But then, while on the side, how they are, in every neighborhood, there's always some people that are quote and unquote bad, some people are quote and unquote good, and they're trying to say, this lifestyle you're living is not good, and blah blah blah. So there was someone like that in Roxy's life who was kind of like her wisdom, telling her, this is your way, try to change and everything. So she kind of had that conscience and stuff inside of her, which was what made her save the man in the first place. But yeah, when she saved the man and she found out that he lost his memory, that was the interesting thing, because people were started associating two of them together because she was one that kind of brought him to the hospital, and she's like, I don't know this man. They say you know the man. Anyway, so that's kind of how their lives kind of got interwoven with one another, because she was the one that saved him, but he couldn't remember who he was, so he just assumed that since she saved him, he had to be connected in some way. So yeah.
Hey, sorry to disturb you. I just wanted to ask you, have you subscribed to our YouTube channel? If you haven't, what are you waiting for? Please go ahead and subscribe, like our videos, and tell a friend to tell a friend. You can also find us on Instagram at TheRealBDTV, or check out our website at www.beedeetv.com, and you'll be glad you did. Alright, back to the video.
And then Roxy, she was not just also a prostitute because she wanted to have money. She was a hustler. She had to, that was her livelihood. So whether she wanted to do it or not, I guess at that point, that was the life that she knew. She was pushed into olosho or prostitution due to a circumstance, pretty much. So that was the way she could fend for herself. Now, I think we should talk about the characters.
Okay.
So like we already said, I think the key characters were Roxy, short form for Rebecca. Then there was Bonnie / Mike, And there was evangelist, or they called her the evangelist.
They called her the evangelist because she was like the spiritual. She was the mother in the Lord that is always telling them, you know, come for prayer and all those kinds of things.
Yeah, of course there were other characters, but those were the three main characters in the movie. Oh goodness! Of course, I want to say a few things about memory loss too. I think you just give me a bit of more understanding.
Yeah.
Let me not give the movie away. Sometimes you think that when you get about your memory, you kind of remember, but I'm not going to go into all the details. So, but it just enlightened me a little bit more about, you know, memory loss. Now, what will you, over like 10 being the highest, how will you rate this movie?
To be honest, I really enjoyed the movie. The movie got me glued, and I would say I'll definitely rate the movie a 9.5. might not be straight.
Yeah, surprisingly,
I was like, I want to give it a 9. But I'm like, I feel like I want to give it higher than a 9. And if I say 9.2, they'll say, which am I solving math? So I'm like, okay, let me just give it a 9.5.
I'm laughing because she's always strict, so I'm even surprised to hear 9.5. But the movie was really that good.
Yeah, I was thinking, like, what about the movie, or what part of the movie really got you, will I say, glued?
I would say yes, like what I just said. Like, you know how I got some information about even memory loss, because sometimes I thought like when you gain your memory, you gain all your memory, but apparently it might not be the case.
Yes. So some people might get their memories back, but then they don't gain it 100%. Yes.
So I think that plot twist I didn't see coming. Well, one of my favorite characters was there, so, and it has me glued. I want to put this disclaimer as well. I don't think this movie is getting the hype it should be getting. I've recommended this movie to 2 people, and they just felt, no, it looked like a terrible movie, because I guess the picture on the movie had Roxy at the front. Even we ourselves, someone recommended the movie because we had it like on our feed for like days. We were like, we'll get to it. But then a friend of mine was like, go watch this movie. It was really good. I was like, okay, let's watch it. And I was like, oh my goodness, I've been sleeping on this movie. Like, this movie is what they say it is. Like, it really is. I'm thinking about, you know, a lot of scenes, you know, like it just it's the movie I'll watch again, you know, and just it's 2 parts, 1 and 2, and I think both of them are already loaded. Yes, definitely, because we saw the movie to the end. Now, for you, what would you say is a scene that grabbed your attention, not necessarily something you did not see coming, like a plot twist?
Yeah, I think one of the things that grabbed my attention, because I won't say 100, the movie was 100% faith-based, but it had some faith-based storyline incorporated into it. And one of the things that was amazing to me was the fact that even though this guy lost his memory, because at the time he lost his memory, and of course he gained his memory back at some point, and when I mean he gained memory back of who he originally used to be. So when he went back to his old life, he was still, because when he lost his memory, he found God in that period when the evangelist woman preached to him and he gave his life to Christ, and he found God. But then when he went back into his old life, because when he lost his memory, he wasn't so technically, because he didn't remember anything from the whole period that he was living a new life. But when he went back to his old life, he didn't forget the fact that he had given his life to Christ, which I found was amazing. Which I thought was amazing. And this is not the first time I've seen this play out. Even on other people's like personal encounters, people lose their memories, they forget everything else, but for some reason they never forget their faith, which I felt like was very amazing. And just also goes to show how the human brain, how amazing the human brain is. It kind of just blows my mind.
Yeah. It was just amazing how, you know, Mike kept clinging to Roxy, you know, because it's like she gave him life again, like a second chance, you know. No matter what she did to him at the beginning, he just held on, you know. You know what I mean? Like, I guess the gratitude just made him continue to hold on and believe the best and hope for the best. And
another lesson I really learned that I really liked was the fact that, yes, we said that Roxy was a prostitute, but Roxy was someone who had a good head on her shoulders. She was kind, and I see she helped someone that a complete stranger that she did not know for, and she knew that there was risk of her, you know, going to jail or something, because they could have said she was the one, you know, that probably, you know, caused his unconsciousness, but she didn't care. She saved him anyway. But one big lesson I learned from that part was the fact that sometimes people do bad stuff because they don't know better, not because they are inherently bad in themselves. All they just need is for somebody else to come, you know, into their lives and told them that there's something better to live for. And I think that was the beautiful synergy between Roxy and Mike, because when Mike came into her life, he made her realize, like, girl, you have self-worth. Like, forget that you're a prostitute and forget that all these things that might happen in your life. You are better than what you have sold yourself for. And likewise, Roxy, made Mike feel love, because even though he was rich, he didn't really have that love from where he was coming from. So I think they both fed into each other very well.
Yeah, and I also just, to piggyback on what she said too, I just remember the role of the evangelist. It shows, how important also to have right people in your life. I know Bo did say that Roxy wanted to help. I think Roxy helped at the beginning, but I think at a point she didn't want to help anymore, so she was not get into trouble.
She's like, no,
yes,
which is normal,
which
right?
is normal. Yes, like okay, I've reached my limit. Yeah, but because she had the right person like the evangelist, she pushed her. She pushed her to do more. She pushed her to do right. She tried to pull her in the right direction. So that's something I would say. I also learned from that. Now, let's talk about what do you think about the picture of the movie?
It was good. The picture quality was good. The music. So there was one song they kept singing in the movie that let's assume you didn't know the song before you started the movie. By the time you're done with the movie, you know the song, because they sang the song over and over and over again. And the song was even like a link between even when he lost his memory. It was beautiful. I think it's a must watch. Everybody should go watch that movie.
Yeah, I totally agree. I know I haven't given my rating, but I will say maybe 10. Because I don't want to say 9.5.
You can say 9.6.
Yeah, I know. Because it was really a good movie. I enjoyed every moment of the movie, and I think it was kind of nice to have part 2 than just have it drag on for like 3 hours. And we had to wait for part 2, and trust me, it was a what? Yes,
it was what the way. We'll definitely review Roxy 2 some other time, because I feel like there were also things to learn in Roxy 2. And so Roxy 2 wasn't redundant at all. Yeah, but we'll review that separately.
Yeah, but definitely it was worth the wait, like she said. So I would say 9.5 or 10, straight 10 for me. So that was good. That was a good movie. And please, I think I would recommend you all watch Beyond Stevie.
Yeah. Beyond
Stevie. Yes. I know that's a tongue twister. I know that's a tongue twister. Yes. So I recommend you go watch her movie. Actually, we will review a number of movies on her channel, because she has awesome movies that are relatable and not
engaging. Yeah. They teach lessons. They are very family friendly. Yeah.
And they're not just typical, like, let's say people are telling stories.
Real life stories. Yes.
Like, how people are telling stories on A, she's telling the flip side of the story. So that makes, most of her movies even awesome. I don't know, is there any, final words or final things you want to say?
If you have a contrary opinion, or if you feel like, no, I don't think this movie was what they hype, please feel free to tell us in the comments. And if you agree, also feel free to tell us in the comments. And then if there's any other movie that you want us to review, please also tell us in the comments, and we will review them.
Okay, thank you. Well, I guess that's all for now. Please like, subscribe to our channel as well.
And share with your friends.